Hi, my name is Kelsey Elliott, and I'm going to be discussing developing my personal brand image with my first time in the professional workplace and just kind of how that experience has been for me. Being given this assignment, it kind of prompted me to start self-reflecting and thinking about what my brand image would be and how others perceive me, and it immediately made me think to my recent role that I took back in August working as a liquor rep. It's been my first experience in a professional work setting, and it's definitely prompted me to think about how others perceive me and just the type of appearance that I'm giving off to others when they're meeting with me. My role really includes traveling to liquor stores, restaurants, grocery stores, other places like that, and meeting with business owners to pitch the products that my company represents. I'm also responsible for managing my territory, making sure that everybody's getting equal coverage, being seen regularly, getting restocks regularly, and then I'm maximizing what products I could be pushing to each client. And then I also have an additional role with the same company where I go in 1 or 2 days a week and I do the payroll and the administrative work and that type stuff. So just keep the office kind of chugging. But overall, my environment that I work in is definitely very professional. Within the company, I'm the only woman, and I'm also the only employee under the age of 40. So it definitely puts me out there on an island a little bit where I'm definitely aware of just the energy that I'm putting out and how seriously I'm being taken, and how I'm presenting myself in a professional place, especially because as a liquor rep, I am very responsible for how my company is perceived. My personal brand image translates directly to my company's image and just how respected we are, and that will keep moving down the line to my success as well. One thing that I make sure to do is I try to use my clothing to set a tone of professionalism. I've included some pictures here because part of my job is that I do liquor tastings in the locations that I sell to. I will usually include a few tastings where I'll come in, I'll help them sell the product. It's a great bargaining chip to help make sales as well, being able to offer service like this and ensure that sales will be made. But either way, this is just good examples of how I like to use my clothing to set a professional tone. I feel that your clothes are the way that you are able to make your first impression, and it's by using your clothing strategically, you can kind of communicate that you're taking the role more seriously. According to Forbes, dressing professionally is still very important. The CEO of Mindster, which is a media and marketing company, JJ Herbert, says that they can help you make a great first impression, they can help with self-confidence, and they can help you keep productive. He explained it saying, one of the strongest ways to improve others' perceptions of you is to improve the perception that you have of yourself. When we feel as though we look good on the outside, there's a positive correlation to us also feeling good on the inside. I definitely feel that dressing professionally helps me bring a professional manner to work every day. When I think about how I'm being perceived in all of this, it does kind of go down two roads here. There's kind of how I interact with my coworkers, especially because I do that administrative work in office a few days a week. So just my presence with the sales team when they come in, as I am a resource to them, being the administrator, and my boss and everybody within the company. And then clients on the other end, the people that I'm selling to, obviously very important because that is how I make the bulk of my money. It's important that they take me seriously. So when it goes to my coworkers, I feel that the things that are really influencing them is me having the highest sales. That's information that they're privy to, and I think that definitely makes a really big impression on me when they think of me and who I am and what I bring to the table. I feel I have a pretty quiet and professional manner. I'm usually very professional, but I'll always be very friendly, everything like that. I mostly only speak if I'm spoken to, though. I'll definitely keep to myself. I don't want to be too much in that type of way. But if I am going to contribute, I'm usually confident that what I'm contributing is going to be beneficial and accurate, or I'm asking questions to try and prompt more conversation and show that I really care about what's being discussed. I think that those are the things that when people think of me, they usually think of and would definitely impact how they think of me. When it comes to my clients, I think I walk in with confidence. I let my presence be known, but I try to make it feel like a warm, exciting, or inviting energy. I'm happy to see you, happy to talk about, how you've been and how's the product doing and all that stuff. I always dress professionally. I carry myself highly, even if I'm sticking out like a sore thumb in a, kind of rundown store and it's, I feel awkward in my environment. I still want to bring that energy every time. I'm trying to be very well versed on my products, and overall, I think they would think of me as not necessarily being overly pushy. I'll talk to you on your level. I'm not trying to be condescending, but I'm still very persistent. I'm not necessarily going to leave you alone. So going more into my brand image and what exactly I think that is, I think my strengths would be that I'm very committed. I show up early, I leave late. I've repeatedly shown that I'm willing to put in the time it takes to really do well in a position. I'm highly engaged. I think I ask good questions. I make an active effort to show that I care about being good at what I do, improving my abilities, everything along that reign. And then I'm also knowledgeable. I've done the research required. I can hold my own in an industry conversation. I'm well versed on the products. I also have my degree in marketing and understand business. I have a good head on my shoulders in that sense. I think that plays a role in it as well. I'm driven. I've repeatedly shown I'm a hard worker. I am going to put the work in to exceed sales targets, and I've been able to multiply what everybody else has done. So that's definitely spoken for me as well. When it comes to weaknesses, I definitely have less industry experience. There are times when I have to humble myself and, people are trying to have a conversation with me, like a client is trying to negotiate with me and I don't understand whatever concept they're talking and I can't bullshit myself out of it a little bit. I just have to humble myself and ask them to explain how that usually works, what their expectations are, so that I can go discuss with my superiors and figure out what my role is in that. That's definitely something that'll set me back rather than these other reps who understand the complexities of that and can use it to their advantage. But it's something that you work towards. You gotta start somewhere. I'm young. That can definitely be a disadvantage. I've had lots of people ask me if I'm even old enough to be selling the product or to drink the product that I'm selling to them, and that's definitely something that you don't want to be asked in a sales pitch. I also feel that there are kind of some company weaknesses. Just because my firm is smaller, I tend to be stretched really thin. It can make it really hard to keep good communication with everybody because there's so much coming in and so many different aspects to control. And then there are also, with other company weaknesses, I think there's some challenges just related to my employer having a bit of a reputation for being flaky, which goes back to being stretched thin. It just hasn't been a great situation, kind of been an uphill battle when it comes to, just being the best I can be at my job. As far as where I would improve from here on out, I would say a great place to start would be product education. I think just being as knowledgeable as you can is what will really help your image, because they're going to remember the little things of you being able to answer the questions, being quick on your feet, knowing exactly what was up. That confidence in your product, I think, will translate to how they think of you and your company and your product. You are the image and the face of it, I think my sales techniques could also improve as well. Every little interaction with people definitely sticks with them, and having improved techniques could definitely help me see more results, I think. Better organizational skills, I think, could really help to combat some of the issues with communication and just all the little things slipping through the cracks. Having better organizational skills would definitely help translate to benefits for our clients, and that would definitely be something that would stick with them. And then I think lastly, I would lean into my unique position. I think being young can be seen as a disadvantage, but it can also be an advantage. I can play into it because my generation and my peers are the ones with the buying power. Everybody's looking to us right now to see what we're going to pick, where the trends are going to go, and I can try and use that to my advantage and spin on that those are my people. I understand how they're thinking, I understand what they want, I understand what they're being influenced by. I'm part of that crowd as well. I'm still work in a restaurant. I see people ordering drinks. I can use all of that to my advantage as well when it comes to trying to garner respect from my clients. There's definitely a lot to work on. There will always be a lot to work on. These are my sources that I used. I think it's great to, look over and review how you're perceived and how your image can help. And it's also great to think of it in the terms of a business, because when you're entering the workforce and in a professional environment, you need to operate like a business. So I've learned a lot from this assignment. I'm looking forward to going on this semester and learning more about how I can improve.